Hi everyone, in this video we are going to solve remove element. This is an easy label problem. So here, given an integer array nums and an integer value val, we have to remove all the occurrences of value in nums in place. So in place basically means that without modifying or without creating another sub variable, with our given variable we have to modify it, and the order of the element may be changed. So order of the returning element after removal does not matter, and it is a very important thing. So once that is done, we have to return the number of elements which are not equal to val. So here we can, in order for us to do it, so let us understand the problems. So we will have a value called nums, and it is going to be 3, 2, 2 and 3, and our val is going to be 3. So basically we'll have to remove all the occurrences of 3 and we have to return the nums like 2, 2, and anything can be present here. So it does not matter what values are present after it. So, but one thing to understand, right? Here is 2 and 2, but instead it was, let's say, 1 or 2, right? In that case also, whatever we can return it in this format also, 1, 2 in this format, or we can return this value as 2, 1, 1, and the returning value, right, we'll have to send as a result total number of values which are not equal to val. So in our case it's going to be 2. So here, if you are able to understand the problem, so here the complexity of the problem is going to be big O of n, because we will have to add a for loop to iterate it, and there is also going to be a comparison operation. So here, right, if I have to write the program for that, so it is pretty simple in a way, but at the same time, because we are going to have to make in place operations, it can be a little bit intuitive or could be complicated. So we can initialize a variable called counter and we can give it a value of 0, and we can write a for loop. So for I in, let's say, nums, and if I is equal to, means whatever value is equal to val, I made a mistake, it is going to be not equal to val. So if it's not equal to val, in that case what we are going to do, so let's say nums of counter equal to I, and then counter plus equal to 1, and at last we are going to return our counter value. So right here, right, initially for this case, let's say for this value 3, 2, 2, 3, and our value is 3, and initially the counter is going to be 0. So here for the first element, because 3 and 3 are matching, so we are not going to do in any operation, means this loop is not going to get executed, so nothing happens out here. In the second case, when our value is going to be 2, so what we are going to do, we are going to replace this 3 with this 2, and we are not going to do anything other changes, and we are just going to increment the counter by 1. Then in the second case, when the another value is 2 and 2 is not equal to 3, so in that case we are going to replace this 2 with this 1, and we are going to work accordingly. Now our counter is going to be 2, and 3, again we are going to get 3, so 3 is equal to 3, so we are not going to execute this if part, and our resultant array is going to be 2, 2, 2, 3. So here, right, when the user is going to check, or the code has been written in such a way that the resultant check is done till here, so whatever values present after it, it does not matter, and the resultant array or result that we are going to send, so we are going to return counter, and our counter value is going to be 2. So our application is going to pass. Just make sure that you have to replace these elements. Just simply counting the values which are not equal to val is not going to be sufficient enough, and that is the reason it is going to create a little bit of complexity for the users, because the problem statement itself is easy, but the way it has been written, it can be a little bit tricky to understand. So now we are going to see the code implementation using Python. Now for the coding part, let me jump into the solution. So here first we're going to create a variable called counter, and we're going to initialize its value with 0. Now we're going to run a for loop. So for each in nums, if each not equal to val, in that case we are going to do nums of counter equal to each, and at the same time we are going to increment counter plus equal to 1, and we are going to return counter. So let me click on run. The public test case is passed. Let me submit it up. And as you could see, our code run efficiently, even though it says it beats 10.90% of the people, but it does not matter, because at the end, right, if you look into the time complexity of it, it is going to be big O of n. So that's all for this video. See you in the next one.